breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to be. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We'll be live here in a minute.
Well, there'll always be some haters. They don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to wait, Drunk Donkey Nation tells you, friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
All right. Good morning. Holy cow, it is Saturday, July the 3rd. We are tracking tropics. And we are live. Live from Leslie, that's funny. The old AC camper ACs are the loudest. They're not loud, it's just they blow. But you gotta have them blowing if you're gonna camp in Florida. Hey, so good morning, everybody. We've been remote all week, doing lives in the morning and at night, doing a little afternoon supporter video, and reading comments here. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Mark. What's up? Carol from Vero Beach. Lots of folks chiming in. It's so hard. Elizabeth, thank you. Trying to make sense of this, okay? It's a very sloppy system. It's every system's got a story. This one's got a story right now. It's going 31 miles an hour. That is crazy. I don't think I ever recall a hurricane going 31 miles an hour. The convection is definitely trying to hang on to that circulation, low level. But it is going to slow down today. Today is the day to watch. What's up, Eric? Hey, Rich. Yeah, I wouldn't want to spend vacation with anybody else than my wife, my 2 kids, and our 1 million followers. Gregory, man, it is so. Hey, Loretta Reed, how you doing? It is. Florida is saturated. Rain. Crazy. All right, so hey, real quick, if you're new to the page, we've been streaming since 2009. Website since 2004. We're a good little weather family. We're 1 million plus. Nothing official ever on our page. What I say. So if you need official information, go to the National Weather Service or National Hurricane Center, which I have linked on my site everywhere. We just chit chat. Sometimes I curse. Sometimes I drink. Today we're drinking coffee. All right, so we're gonna go over everything. Promise. So we're looking at it right now, real quick. Weathernerds.org. I got them linked everywhere. Matt's. This is an awesome page. This is the current look. Big blobby mess going 31 miles an hour. Puerto Rico got a little bit of rain this morning from it, and now it's stretching over to Dominican Republic and Haiti, nearing Hispaniola now. So you get some squally weather today, no doubt about it. And then tomorrow. Tonight things go downhill for Jamaica and Cuba. This thing's moving fast. That's what we're going to show you. So here's the page, Mike's Weather page. Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, located here in Florida. Big supporters of our page. Cheers. July 4th weekend, Saturday. Go hit them up. It looks like the storm's coming to Florida. Tropical storm or more, we'll see. So what better way than go to ABC and get your hurricane supplies, meaning Jack Daniels and Hurricane Hunter beer. Craig's got a Frenchie, cool. I should show the dogs real quick. Here, I haven't shown Louie in a while. Come here. I can reach your Louie. All right, I feel bad because nobody comes for the weather. They come for the dogs, right? So here's Louie. Real quick, say hi to Louie. Then we'll get right into tropics, I promise. Everybody loves Louie. Louie's the man. Maybe we'll show Hunter here at the end. Louie's a chill dog. Met a lot of fans here at the campsite. Couldn't believe it, man. We got about a half a dozen or so. Spotted me at the tiki bar. Actually bought a round for us, right, Louie? Did you get a free round, Jaeger bomb? All right, so here's what we got. A lot to talk about. So here is the latest from the NAC. There's your latest track. Let's just leave it up here for a second. You know, I get these emails. I don't know who's putting out the news, but apparently there's rumors that Florida is going to get nothing out of this. Even my mom was like, you shouldn't be saying Florida because that's irresponsible. I'm like, well, Mom, National Hurricane Center is showing Florida. Spaghetti models are showing, you know, so I don't know if it's July 4th weekend or what, but I don't get the feeling like a lot of people in Florida know we got a storm coming. So we got a storm coming. The question mark is going to be how strong it's going to be. So if you're looking right here, the 2 a.m. Wednesday little dot, which is right outside my house, is expected to be 65 miles an hour. This is what the NAC is showing officially. 65 miles an hour near the Keys and 65 miles an hour near the Florida West Coast. So pretty strong. Ada was a 65 mile an hour tropical storm. We saw the flooding that Ada did with surge. So nothing to take too lightly. The big question mark that the NAC keeps stressing about is what happens in this stretch, and basically today into tonight. This system is expected to slow down. Tropical systems that are going 31 miles an hour cannot strengthen very well at all because they outrun each other. The lower level circulation, mid levels, they can't stack up. So it's going to have a little window of opportunity when this thing starts slowing down later today into tomorrow to try to strengthen. So, you know, NAC, like I said, the big question marks on the strength. It does. We did get consistency overnight. I'll show you the Euro is now showing west coast of Florida. So indeed the Euro caught up to the GFS. But the good news is they're all showing nothing too strong, which is good. We don't really have an outlier right now showing anything too strong. So that's the only good news right now, is that we got good consistency of 990, 1000 millibar systems. So that's borderline, it could be borderline hurricane, but the 970 millibars that we're seeing, luckily right now, we're not seeing. So another couple things. Let's look at discussion real quick. I want to point this out. So intensity talks about the track, and I'm just going to sum it all up here. But the big question is going to be how much interaction with land today and tomorrow. Environmental winds are going to become conductive, it says. So if it stays over water, it's going to strengthen. If it stays south, it's going to re-strengthen. If it goes over the islands, it could get tore apart. Slight re-strengthening is expected when it moves off of Cuba, which means the Gulf of Mexico. So how beat up it is tomorrow over Cuba determines how strong we could see it in the Gulf. So they expected it to strengthen in the Gulf. It's just how bad. I've seen systems cross over Hispaniola and Cuba and not really lose any of their structure. We've also seen storms get completely torn apart and just become like open waves and just be a big rainmaker. So the NHC is stressing that a lot, that there's still some uncertainty with that. So let me show you one more graphic here real quick. Then I'll slow down and see if there's comments. I only see 3 or 4 comments, so I'm not being rude this time. Cuba has been known to break her up. Yes, Kara, it has. It helped with Irma a little bit. We had dry, so Irma bounced along. Irma was more to the north. Irma came across and kind of bounced before it turned. So this system is a big question mark. The big question mark is how much land are we going to see interaction. Let's see if I can zoom it a little better. There we go. So this is the expected path. And as you can see, the cone, you know, half of the cone is over Cuba, the other half is the center. So a path here definitely will help maintain and increase intensity a little better on exit. That's what we talked a lot about yesterday. This is what the NHC is saying. This thing's going so fast it might not turn as expected and stay along this outer western edge of the cone, have less time to cross over, thus, you know, less time to get tore up. So, you know, big questions today and tomorrow as far as how strong this system's going to be for the Gulf. That's been their key. It's got to slow down to strengthen. They're expecting it to slow down. And I'll show you some cool stuff here about that. All right, so here's another big question I get a lot of, and that's timing of the storm. Let me leave it up here. So I love email questions. I have the email on our site. I get questions, and I answer them. So the number one question I got, which is a good one, is why, you know, why do we see Sunday 8 p.m. down here in the Keys when the NHC is showing Sunday 8 p.m. here on the cone? Well, this graphic is new last couple years, and this graphic shows you when we can start seeing squall lines develop out ahead of Elsa. So just because Elsa's to our south, we're going to start seeing squall lines to the north spinning around, you know, spinning in, and we're going to start seeing possible tropical force winds as early as tomorrow night for the Keys, and then Monday morning for a good chunk of the southern half of Florida. Monday 8 p.m. into my neck of the woods. So that's just important to know. This is a really, when I share this graphic, I get a lot of shares because of the timing. People always want to know timing. And of course, East Coast, you know, Wednesday 8 a.m. This thing curves like that. Anything like that, you know, we're still going to have an organized low pressure system that's going to bring in a lot of wind, a lot of rain. What we see a lot with these systems, when they start to exit off the coast, they're going to start feeding into this warm Gulf Stream, and we're going to have squalls counterclockwise rotating into the East Coast. So don't focus too much here on, you know, Florida, the West Coast, down to the Keys. The East Coast can definitely see stuff. This is, you know, we'll measure the system again. But I want to show you the H-Wharf real quick and show you why the East Coast is definitely, East Coast of Florida, Miami area, you know, a path like this, we're going to see, you know, some nasty squalls coming in all the way up the East Coast as this, you know, decides to come in. So it's one of the deals, kind of, you know, it's not as strong as Irma, thankfully, but we're, you know, people on the East Coast ask me all the time, are we going to get anything? Well, you're going to get it. You're going to get some. So, hey, watching from Texas, Yahara? Did I say your name right? Yeah, Whitney. Yeah, so H-Wharf is weakening it a little bit because the H-Wharf is keeping it of a South Florida landfall, and it still strengthens it over land. It brings it down to 999 middle part of Florida. I'll show you that. But the H-Wharf is trending a little bit to the east, so we're not really seeing the true strengthening of an H-Wharf model if it's over the Gulf. So that's kind of trickery right now because the NHC expects slight strengthening over the Gulf, and it's going to have lighter shear over the Gulf. It's got warm water over the Gulf, and it's going to have 1 day over the Gulf, possibly. If this thing makes landfall north of Tampa Bay, it'll have 24 hours at least to try to strengthen. And that would be like Monday night to Tuesday night. So more time over water, more time to strengthen. Same thing goes below Cuba. All right, so there's your timing maps. All right, let me show you real quick the winds of the earth. This is a good one. I love it. No school. So we've been talking a lot about this high pressure system to the north. And let me get down here to 1,000. All right, so here, well, let's just go 850. So here's your 850 winds. All right, so strong high pressure system out in the Atlantic. The old Bermuda High has been whipping these winds from the north and pushing Elsa along. Think about it. Elsa's winds are clockwise, right? These winds are like that, and these winds are like that. So they actually, it's like Fred Flintstone. The feet, like these. When these two touch, when the feet touch the ground, which is the feet is Elsa's counterclockwise, and the ground is the high pressure. When they meet, things happen, and that probably made no sense. But it's Saturday morning, so I had to throw a cartoon reference in for you Looney Tunes.
Sarah thinks you're funny.
Sarah's laughing at Dad. She doesn't even know what the Flintstones are. But anyway, the counterclockwise flow of Elsa actually accelerates with the high pressure system, and that's why we're getting this crazy fast 31 miles an hour. That's unheard of. Alright, but here's what's going on otherwise in the world. So we got a cold front. We've been talking about this rare July cold front, and you can see it currently, which sucks for us. It's gonna rain again. What the hell, man? Raining every damn day. I ain't seen the sun in 3 damn days. We did see it yesterday. So we got a rare, this current IR, and there's our front. So we're going to get rains. Rains are right now scattered across Interstate 4. They're going to be drifting south, and unfortunately for us, they're going to be coming in. So I have a feeling we're going to be doing our day drinking under the tent. But what this is doing for the tropics, and this has been talked about for a week now, and it's definitely panning out, it's going to help break down this high pressure system. That's what's going to allow our system to react. It's going to slow down to this high pressure system. It's going to stop the gap. And so this window here, it's going to slow down tonight and tomorrow. That's when it's going to be on, like Donkey Kong. And you know what I'm seeing currently on Weather Nerds, you know, we're still getting massive blowups of convection. So if this thing has a chance to slow down, then we could see some intensification again. So that's what they're kind of, everybody's was waiting for this to slow down. Tropical systems cannot develop very well going 31 miles an hour, but it's expected to slow down. Alright, what else we got? So let's go back and look at the verticity. This is the spin, this is the 850. You can kind of see some spinach. You can see a closed low. We go to the, alright, so we'll pinpoint it. This is a best guess to where the center is. We go to 700 millibar, and it's a tick to the northeast, and then we go 500 millibar, and it's definitely behind it. So the lower level winds are influenced by this steering of this high pressure, and it's pushing the lower level. It's outracing the mid-level. Once the mid-level catches up, then we can have some thunderstorms develop, for sure. So the lower level is roughly 1671. Let's take a look at Weather Nerds. 1671. And let's see what Weather Nerds is showing. Let's look at we'll look at visible satellite here and see the big convection. 1671. Here's 1671. So here's technically center right now. So the main blow up is happening a little bit to the north of the main center. So that new blow up is definitely right over center. That's what I was looking at. So anyway, when this thing slows down, it's going to have a good chance to blow. So what does that mean? All right, let's drop that. So here's another cool site. I haven't shared it in a while. Zoom Earth. I have a link to it on the page here. Number 7, secret little, this is a secret code here, little 7. Or on the bottom here, I got a link on the bottom, Zoom Earth. Another good site I haven't shared in a while, My Flood Risk. My Flood Risk is a good site. I don't want to eat my bandwidth up, but if you're curious about where you live, your elevation, flood data, that kind of stuff, definitely take a look at that. So, all right. So, anyways, Zoom Earth. It's a good site. It gives you live satellite imagery. Gives you live IR. You know, you can move it around. It gives you the current tracks. You can click on the estimated the timestamps here with the NAC data points. So here's July 4th, 2 p.m. It's supposed to be 70 miles an hour. Here's, you know, near the Keys, July 6th, 2 a.m., 65 miles an hour. Here's July 7th, 2 a.m. This is Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and so it's a good site. You can fast forward, or you can zoom. It's really awesome, actually. Here's all kinds of stuff. You go over here, and you got more buttons. Current rain, storm tracks, spaghetti models, everything. So it's a good site. Just want to share that. Here's a water vapor loop, real quick. I got all these loaded because I want to show them. And we'll leave this one up. Here's our storm. This is Elsa, and here's our front coming down. And look at this. We have no dry air. So pointed that out yesterday. It's got a very moist. Everybody say moist. Alexa, what's the definition of moist? I don't have Alexa here, but you do. Hey Ruth, that's Zoom Earth. I got a link on it. Number 7 on the very top of Evan. Good point. I have to show you the ensembles. Faster this thing goes, the harder it's going to be to make that the east side of models. It's like trying to turn a 18-wheeler on a dime. It doesn't happen very easily, especially if an 18-wheeler is on a wet road. Crystal, I don't see any chance of that right now. It would take a slower moving system. If it stays below Hispaniola in Cuba, yes, but it's going to be close enough to land that it's going to have to get more to central Cuba before there would be any chance of some really significant intensification if it stays off the land, because it's flatter there and it'll start pulling in moisture from the Gulf Stream to the north. But anyway, there's moist air. We got our dry air coming down with the front, but the timing of that, which I've showed a bunch, is by the time that our system gets to the Gulf, that front is going to be not a player, and I think the shear is going to relax. All right, so let's stop this. This is the H-Mon. Let's go to the H-Wharf. All right, so now I want to show you what some models are doing. First off, too, by the way, if I got a link to it, the Hurricane Hunters are out there flying around right now. The pressures went up a little bit, 1,001 millibar, 1,005 millibar now. So it's not strengthening. It's going fast, man. 29 was fast. 31's unheard of. It's got to start slowing down. Has to. Upper level winds are saying that it has to start slowing down. There's nothing else pushing it. So there's that. All right, so we're going to go all in the models now. Oh yeah, don't forget this site. All right, 2 sites I want to show you. So I added this site. This is your wind analysis. It's from NOAA. It's great. It's hard to find, so I linked it. Go to my site. And if you ever notice how I do things when we have tropics, I usually have a sexy graphic and then text. Nobody likes text. Nobody likes to look at words. But anyway, sexy graphic, text. 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 So I added Elsa wind analysis, and that's the page that I was just on. Let me make sure it works. Yep, wind analysis. So everybody likes this. some of the weather geeks in the world, they like this. This shows you the current thinking of windscat winds and satellite winds, and where the heaviest winds are, and there you go. So there's there's a good graphics showing the center where the strongest winds are. Circulation, different maps. So that's linked now. And the other link that I added, go back to the site. Everybody wants to know about surge. So here's the wind analysis, and then current surge is CERA. All right. So this site is well ahead of the NHC. The NHC is going to be putting out surge forecasts soon. Maybe 11 they'll start doing that. But this site actually shows you surge now, based on the current track. This is the current track from the NHC. But if you want to start getting an idea what you can expect based on preliminary thinking, this one, and there's a chart. I shared it earlier today, but I didn't have the chart. The page itself has the chart. So that kind of gives you the idea what you can expect. Marco Island, 5, 6, never know. And this thing, if you're new to tropical systems, everything flows counterclockwise. This does not take into account storm tide, so tides can add to storm surge. And then when we get up to Tampa, interestingly enough, we are already starting to show 3 to 4 feet of surge possibility into Tampa Bay. You add 3 to 4 feet to storm tide, then we're right back where we were with Ada again. Hundreds of homes were flooded in low-lying areas from Bradenton up to Pasco, especially along the barrier islands, Gulfport, Reddington Shores, Madeira Beach, and then Safety Harbor and Oldsmar. So that's something to think about. If a storm passes, regardless of strength, 65 miles an hour, 60, 70, whatever it is, if you're in a surge-prone area, this is a good map. Now look, we go farther to the north. Why are we getting surge now? Because as our system is here, we're going to start getting counterclockwise flow regardless of strength. So some of these surge values are now showing up for the East Coast. So it's a good site. You can play around with it. The NHC will have official surge stuff soon. All right. What did I miss? Panhandle, you should be watching. Tampa Bay will be in a watch, Ryan. Oh my God. Well, I think it's 48 hours out. So that would mean Tuesday night, Sunday night. So maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, 5 p.m. they'll issue watches for Tampa Bay. They'll start for the Keys probably tomorrow morning. I bet you tomorrow morning they might issue a watch, or even late tonight. All right, so here is the latest H word. Let me drink some coffee. I try. Oh, the other thing I want to show you real quick: rain forecast. Okay, I haven't seen anybody post anything about rain. Rain forecast. We can't lose Facebook. Please don't lose Facebook. Let me turn off my site. It's a bandwidth sucker. Let me go to the Euro and show you what we can get with rain. So it's not going to be a stalling system. But remember, all right, so yesterday during the live we talked about the Euro, and the Euro was out to lunch. And the Euro was showing this thing getting dissolved, showed it going out to sea, not even coming close to land. And the Euro was wrong. You know, we need the gong show. Shelly, we need to get like the gong show noise effect, like Euro. So now the Euro's caught up. But here, I want to show you the rainfall predictor. So let me just fast forward it right here. Boom. Here is what you can expect for, you can kind of see it, I guess. I don't have the keys on there. Let me see if it'll pop up this way. Sometimes I can't copy and paste off of weather models. There we go. Good enough. Let me zoom in, and then I can scroll down a little better. All right, so here is the current euro. Now this cracks me up because yesterday the euro showed Zippo, showed it going out to sea, showed nothing. Now the euro shows this for rainfall, but it's very possible, regardless of strength. And we got pockets here, 7-8 inches. The whites are 6 inches, 7 inches. So you can see the path going north. This would be a track kind of like that, something like that. There's our big rains. Now, you know, it doesn't show heavy over here because all we're going to get over here are squall lines. They don't accumulate much. We're going to have a lot of dry air. The dry air helps feed the squall lines off the east coast because you get daytime heating, dry air, instability. You got warm Gulf Stream. So, like I said, I'm going to show you some estimated radar. But the heaviest rain's there. Let me close that. Let's go to the latest GFS. Oh, my button's stuck, or what the heck's going on here? Jesus. My setup works good, but my mouse gets stuck under my laptop. Alright, so here's the latest thinking on the GFS. And it keeps the heaviest just offshore. But you see the path. And anything dark red's 4 or 5 inches. So there you go. You got to see. Very, very close. This system's not going to stop. It's not going to stall. So these type of systems, 6 to 8 inches, you know, isolated. You could have some rain training, but there's your rain. Just wanted to point that out. And that's most of that rain's going to fall maybe late Monday, Tuesday. Out of here Wednesday. So the heaviest is definitely Tuesday for most of the peninsula. All right. So let's show you individual models in a second. Last thing I want to show before I forget are ensembles, and show you how the euro has flipped 180 and now showing. And oh, let's pull up spaghetti models too. We should have the new 12Z. All right, so let me close that. So let's take a look. We did do our drum roll. Oh my God, I broke tradition. Hey Marlene, well so the question is, how does Tallahassee know they're only going to get tropical storm weather? Well, you know, a lot of this is based on current track, and if the eye stays to Tallahassee's east side, usually the nastiest weather is to the east side of a storm. So if the center point of Elsa is just to your east, most of the action could stay to your east. But you know, basically because there's really no modeling right now showing hurricane. A lot of speculation on you know, this is kind of, you know, it wasn't supposed to have 85-mile-an-hour winds yesterday either, you know, and it did. So I keep putting that big question mark on what happens when it gets into the Gulf. I think the shear is going to be relaxed some from that front, and you know, we'll see what it does. But right now the official, you know, he's got to go off the official forecast, and the official forecast is 65 mile an hour. Buzzer acquired, Mike. Oh my God, did you actually order that, Shelly? All right, and listen, we have a lot of saturated ground, right? A lot. Power outages could be a little bit more frequent with this system because of so much rain. You know, trees can only take so much water on their root systems. So, you know, 65 mile an hour winds will blow these rain saturated trees down, and you could be having a little bit more power outages than we normally would get because wet roots are not very sturdy roots. And our campsite is completely full, by the way. There's people everywhere. Hey, thank you, Sandy Hawk. How you doing, Sandy Hawk? Are you back in Tampa? Fish Hawk. We play softball there all the time, Amy. Roger, you should still be watching. I'm going to show you why. Hey, Ruth. What's up, Tina? Big thanks to my Spring Hill buddies. Bought me and my boys a round of drinks yesterday. It's pretty awesome. Also met a dude that works over at Patrick Air Force Base. He works directly with NOAA and the President of the United States. No politics, but it was so cool that he said they all follow us, which is really neat. We got Rocky down in Mexico. Thank you, Jody. Am I coming before? Yes, Carrie. We're going to leave probably Sunday night. I like the mobile studio. This is the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits mobile studio. As long as I got internet. Hey, Dale. Yeah, but the only problem, Dale, is I went to ABC and spent like $300 on liquor. I've only drunk maybe like $50 worth of liquor. I've been giving away more than I've been intaking. So, alright, let's show you, what I want to show you here is two things. Alright, the latest 12Z models just came out. They are here on Tropical Tidbits. I almost said our other buddy. So here we go, Tropical Tidbits. Let's leave it up and pull it up about right here. Looks pretty good. So, you can kind of see them. Alright, so, you know, very tightly clustered. A few of them stay south. You know, it's going to be so close to staying over water. That's why the NHCs keeps, you know, letting everybody know in the Gulf, you know, what we're really going to get as far as strengthening goes. So we got to watch it. If it stays south of Cuba, it could maintain that core structure, and when it gets out in the Gulf, you know, it's going to have a good 24 hours possibly. But anyway, here's the latest models. And you know, I mean, obviously we got our bend. Very, you know, we don't. Some storms we got spaghetti models doing this. Like sometimes over the years we've seen them do this. We've seen some do that. We've seen some do that. We've seen some do that. We see some do that. So we actually have good agreements on this system with spaghetti. These two are outliers. Not buying it. That's what the Euro did yesterday. I killed all the Euro lover dreams yesterday. Alright, so let's really zoom in here. Look at, I love the zoom feature. I love it. Alright. So, timestamps. 24 hours. Oh man, I hate it when that thing gets big. Alright, 24 hours, 48 hours. So that would mean this is Sunday AM, and then this is Monday AM, Monday AM. So between tonight and tomorrow, like we said, we're going to see how much land interaction we get. We're going to be watching this slow down a little bit. It really starts to slow down and feels that turn. You know, when tropical systems turn, they slow down. And pretty much landfall, South Florida, all the way to the Panhandle. Been very consistent. Black is your official line. Could say we had a little shift to the east, maybe. Could say that. Maybe a tick shift. We'll see what the NHC does. But the NHC has been pretty solid, you know, with their track. And that's, remember, the center line is very irresponsible to show. It's the cone. The cone is where the center can go, especially when we're into a 3-day window. The 3-day cone for tropics is extremely confident. I want to show Ensembles now. Let me show you the 3-day. Whoops, I lost them. Darn it. Let me go back. Michael says it's going to be a bust. Hey, it could be, man. I do believe, though, that it's not, because it's got spinach and it's got moist air ahead and hot water. It's got what it needs. It's just got to slow down to become anything more. So if you're cheering for Elsa, you can sing "Let It Slow." If you don't want it to, if you want Elsa to disappear, you say "Let it go faster." if you want it to become something, because you're a hurricane junkie, you start singing "Let It Slow." But anyway, all right. So yesterday the European was showing Zippo. These are weathernerds.org ensembles. Now there's 51 members of the European model, so these are all the little brains of the Euro. But remember yesterday, holy cow, yesterday it was nothing. It didn't even show anything. It showed nothing. Zippo died. Boom, 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 boom. So the Euro's definitely caught up to the GFS. The mean is the black line. That is the average of all the ensembles. That's kind of what the NHC goes by. But going back to that east shift, I would not be so quick to go all in on an east shift. Hey, knock that snorer off. I wish I could show you a picture of the dogs. Hey, we'll leave the snoring because it feels like home. So ensembles are very important because they kind of show you a sneak peek into the future, as far as what the next run's going to be. So quite a few of the European ensembles are still predicting this thing to stay a little bit more to the west, and that does two things. One, it enables more time over warmer water in the Caribbean and a little more time in the Gulf before it turns back up. So usually you discredit the outliers and you kind of hone in on the average, and that's kind of where you get this cone, based on the Euro. But I'm seeing enough trending on the Euro, and I'm going to show you the GFS now for West to not go all in on a shift to the east. And here's the latest 6Z ensembles. So 6Z is all over the place down south. The GFS has 31 ensembles, or 30. I think it's 31. I don't know. I don't know if it's 30 plus the one. It's 31 or 30. I don't know. 31. But the GFS is, obviously trending more west. So, this is the only thing that you got to really watch is where the core is now that the what it's going to do down there. And a lot of it's, these high pressure systems build back in. This front could weaken. Another scenario I didn't really talk about is why I keep saying West Coast, not East Coast, is that front is happening now, Saturday, Sunday. What we usually see late in the season, or late in cold front season, is this front's going to start dying quick, and when this front dies, the high pressure builds back in. So we could even see a little turn and then a little more turn, as the high kind of kicks it back west and that thing circles around it. So the front dissolves Monday, Tuesday a little quicker, that high pressure builds in, keeps a little tick into the west a little bit, and I think that's what a lot of these models are picking up on, is that the high pressure can start to build back in Monday, Tuesday. That's why, again, and everybody, along the Florida, most of the Florida Panhandle. I don't want to say don't be watching here, but been pretty consistent. We're definitely seeing windshield wiper effects. So spaghetti models ticked a little bit to the east. I'm not seeing that with the ensembles, so I'm not quick to go all in on an east shift yet. What else can we look at? This NOAA site hasn't been updated. Oh, I haven't shown individual runs, so I guess we could show that. This thing is, oh, now it's back online. Cool. I got a new tool to play with. This wasn't working yesterday. Now it is. Oh my god, look out. I got cool. Let me slow down a little bit. Let me show you what this can do. This is like sexy. Yeah, Chris Hargis, how you doing there, buddy? Yeah, east side has always got the most rains, especially if we have any shear in the Gulf, which there could be shear coming in from the west. That means a lot of the moisture gets pushed east and of center. 9 times out of 10, most action is east of center as far as the most heaviest and the squalliest. So. Keys, we could have a double landfall. We could have this thing landfall in the Keys, and we can have a second landfall along the Florida West Coast Upper Panhandle. That's very, very possible. Keys tropical storm force winds start as early as tomorrow night, with a possible landfall Monday evening for you guys. So, anyway. Hey Telford, what's up, buddy? Okay, so let's look at this site. Let's look at some more ensembles. All right, so this is a cool site. We could look at, let's look at Canadian ensembles. Okay, let's not. We don't have any yet. Navy? Ah, come on. Maybe I gotta click, oh, what the hell's going on here? What the heck's going on here? They must be having issues with the site, because I couldn't get, it wasn't even popping up yesterday. Now we're not even getting anything. That sucks. Let me see here. Darn it, I was all excited. Now we don't even get to play. Nope. No, it's experimental for that reason. Alright, enough of that. So it didn't work, darn it. It's like opening up a Christmas present and it's an empty box. Hey Jennifer, well, there's always a chance it falls apart, but usually no. This thing's got, unless it crosses over Hispaniola and Cuba and gets shredded, it'll pop back up. That's my feeling. Alright, so we showed the ensembles are sticking to the west a little bit more. The current spaghetti models to the east. That makes me believe the NHC is not going to change their forecast line much at all. I don't think they have enough to say hurricane in the Gulf yet. I think they're going to be talking a lot about the potential of staying south of Cuba and you know, soaking up these super duper warm waters, the heat potential map. You know, we show this, you know, hotter water down here. So any path south of Cuba will enable this to strengthen a little bit more. When it crosses into the Gulf of Mexico, you know, it's going to be warm water. We have, and what's odd about this more than anything is we're supposed to be in a suppressed stage of the MJO. That's what, yeah, it cracks me up because, you know, tropics never follow rules. You got to look at things in real time. That's for sure. All right, so here's our front. Look at the lightning. This is crazy. And thank you, Sprint, for not kicking me off the internet yet. So look at that lightning map. That's incredible. Incredible frontal boundary. It would take a hurricane called Elsa to bring a cold front. It's probably not very cold, but oh God. Hey Shelly, yep, I saw that, but it wasn't, I don't know, but I'll look at it. All right, so we showed you rain. Listen, you know, tracks, you know, there's no point in guessing right now. You know, we're watching a system that's hauling ass, and it's not going to stop on a dime. It's not going to turn on a dime. It's going to be a slow turn, and you know, at this point, you know, in Florida, you know, you're preparing for an upper end tropical storm and some heavy rains. I want to show you some H4 model runs now to show you what effects you could have with radar. But like we had with Ada, you know, Ada hit and we had flooding in Pinellas County. So don't think it's just a tropical storm. Sometimes they can do some pretty significant damage, especially when we get these squalls coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. And the East Coast. I wonder if the Storm Prediction Center is showing anything yet. Nope, they'll be late to the party, but they'll be catching up. We'll have storm squally or storm chances increase as this thing comes up. All right. Let's look at some bubbling. Let's look at some satellite real quick, and then I want to show you H-Wharf. I love the H-Wharf because it shows you radar too on the potential for what you could see. And we're going to take a look. Oh, we showed this yesterday, that's right, but it wasn't really showing any hot towers yet. But this is current satellite, and we're just, we're seeing the bubbling over center, so it's hanging on. No dry air in the area per se. All right, so here's your H-Wharf. All right, so the latest H-Wharf. This is on Tropical Tidbits. Let me make it a little smaller here. All right, so latest H-Wharf shows this. $9.99 on the keys. This would be early morning Tuesday. So again, you're going to start feeling, tropical storm force winds. They say Sunday 8 p.m., but definitely things start picking up later in the day, Monday. Now this would be if it verified. Now this is what I want to note. H-Wharf, look at that. Set. So 976 crossing over here in the gap. There's Jamaica. There's Cuba. Now the H-Wharf has it going over the highest mountains of Cuba and a long stretch. Look at that. It runs it over diagonal. And we talked about that yesterday, but a diagonal center over Cuba, more land interaction, more time to weaken. So this takes a 970 hurricane, which could be Cat 3. NHC keeps saying it. I got text to prove it. That could be a Cat 3 heading towards, Cuba, but all that land interaction weakens it. But this is what the NHC is saying, and it's common sense. We see it. 1001, 99, 94, and then it crosses over, 99, 98. So this path, now H-Wharf last year did not do awesome with track. It did great with intensity. So the deceiving thing with this run is land interaction here starts to weaken our system. But if the H-Wharf was, here or here, it would continue to strengthen. So we got to be careful. A more west track gives it more time to strengthen into a little stronger system. But that's the latest. The latest. That was OZ. 6Z was the same thing. Here's 6Z. This is the latest. 999 South Florida, cuts across the state. All right, so let's show this scenario. If this panned out, this is what I want to show you guys. The radar. The H-Wharf's pretty good about showing estimated radar. Now, we're already getting squall lines here. This is Monday morning early, okay? So this, Miami area, West Palm Beach, Lauderdale, all southeast Florida, Monday morning squall lines can start to develop here off the Gulf Stream Monday morning and get nasty. This is based on the current thinking of a southern landfall with the H-Wharf. But what this shows you, which I want to show you, is, let me see if I can get a little different look here. Let's see. I want to see what weather model. I wish it was out a little or wider a little bit. So let's take a look at this one here, real quick, as we have great internet. Hey, by the way, I'm at the resort at Canopy Oaks. They reached out to me. They're fans of us. Danielle, if you're watching, they even have kids stuff. Look at that. Great campsite. Not getting kicked out. They let you pretty much, they let you live here. They don't nitpick you. But that's where we're at, by the way. We're in Lake Wales. But I highly recommend it. I am not paid to say this. Great place. And we met a lot of fans here, by the way. I don't know where that came from. Alright, so radar. Simulator radar. Here's radar. Trying to load. There we go. Alright, so a little better. Just a little wider look. Alright, so we'll stop it right here. H-Wharf. This is the mildest solution that we could get. A diagonal cut through Cuba starts to weaken it. A little bit to the south, I'll show you yesterday's runs, it magnifies everything. But this is what you can see. So early morning, Monday morning, squall lines are already reaching the Keys. This is like midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Here we go. Heavy squall lines start to come in the real Monday morning, 7, 8, 9 a.m. There's your squall lines starting to reach the state. So as we get into, Tuesday overnight, if we were to get a landfall, we could have a late Monday night, early Tuesday morning landfall down the Keys with a second landfall around Naples area. But here's these squall lines on Tuesday. Now watch. There's our system coming up. Now, Everglades, brown water effect. This thing won't weaken very fast. So we're going to see effects on both sides of the state, no matter what path this thing takes. And you can start to see Tuesday morning heavy action out here on the East Coast. Again, a path like this, if that was the path of our system, you'd get little over here. This side over here would get very little. Most of it would be concentrated over here. But that's just an idea. Tuesday morning, storms pulling up, coming around. So just keep that in mind. East Coast can definitely feel the effects. There's a pretty heavy duty squall line over the Cape on late night Tuesday into Wednesday. And there's that chance this thing could pop out on the north side of Florida. It's going to be sitting over top of the Gulf Stream and could maintain tropical characteristics here. This is Wednesday morning, and as we get going, it's just one run of many, but it's a real scenario that the Carolinas, like we talk about, Virginia, you could be feeling this midweek, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, let me rewind it to a couple runs ago. Let's go to like the 12Z yesterday. The 12Z yesterday, big difference. 12Z yesterday, all right? 12Z yesterday. Now, I'm not hyping nothing. I'm just letting you know that was the mild solution. Here's the worst solution. 960 millibar system stays south of Cuba, soaks up that ocean heat content, and I'm stuck again. I always get stuck under my damn laptop. And look, it stays pretty strong. This is Monday morning, starting to get squall lines into the Keys here, South Florida. But look what happens. This is still 962 according to the HWRF, which did very well last year. The reason it's not showing 962 now is it's showing about a 20-30 mile tick to the north, which weakens it. This stays over water. That's why this is so tricky to not discount the possibility of a stronger system in the Gulf. So we have less crossover, and this is what the HWRF is doing. So there you go, 991, pretty heavy squall lines. This is the West Coast scenario where all the heavy stuff's to the east. 990 and 983. So there you go. See, this would be Wednesday overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. There's some pretty hefty duty squall lines. And that one is about as extreme west as they go. So the HWRF track is, like I said, the HWRF track, I don't think last year was the greatest, but intensity it was. Stronger system on the Gulf side, less land, it's going to have an opportunity to redevelop into something. So the key is Cuba. Cuba is the key. How much Cuba? Is it going to stop and smoke some cigars? So I hope that makes sense. There's no clear-cut answer. With the 12Z spaghetti models going a little bit to the east, but the Euro and GFS Ensembles sticking to the west, I still think this scenario is more likely to pan out than this scenario. So, So surprise! Don't be surprised if this thing strengthens a little bit more than expected. If it stays south of Cuba, but it's got to slow down. So anyway, Rachel, no. It could be. They're still predicting 65 mile an hour. Listen, even crossing Cuba, it's still going to be a sloppy, rainy, windy, surge-making system. No doubt about it. It's got that core. It's got spin. It's not going to go away. Savannah, no. Officially by Cape Coral, it's supposed to cross a bunch of land and be a 65 mile an hour tropical storm from the Keys to Florida West Coast. Storm surge, Marianne. There's nothing official with storm surge right now. We just have to. Let me show you real quick. Storm surge, like I said, storm surge. Tropical storm Ada. Hundreds of storms, hundreds of homes were flooded with a tropical storm that was 60 miles offshore. And that was a big wake-up call for a lot of people. A lot of people went to bed. Indian Rocks Beach, Reddington Shores, Oldsmar, where I live. This site I just clicked on. It's on my site, Sierra, right here, CERA. This is a preliminary surge site. It's experimental. It's based on the current NHC track, but it gives you some good data that we could start to see 3 to 4 to 5 feet here, inching into parts of the bay, based on the current track forecast. The NHC maybe at 11 o'clock will put out their surge forecast, which I will put online. A little too soon for them, but they do issue their surge forecast soon. So Shelly just messaged me, Frank. What's up, Frank? We need to talk. I never really got to chit chat with you, but so we have a lot of great supporters on our page, and since we're talking about flooding and potential hurricane, potential tropical storm damage, we have a great supporter right here in Florida, Coastal Claims Services, and now is a great time to talk about them, because if you got any sort of damages coming up from Elsa, then you need somebody to fight for you for the insurance companies. And insurance companies do their job. They try to give you, the minimum amount of money, which makes sense. But these guys, like Frank, will fight for you and get, hopefully get a lot more money. So you definitely got to have somebody representing you to get the most amount of money that you need to get. Especially, you get any sort of flood damage, tree damage, water damage. So, great time to remember that. Think about that. And support the ones that support us. For sure. Coastal Claims. Check them out. Hopefully you don't have to use them. But if you do and you get that little extra money, have them give you like $30 more and buy me a bottle of Jack. But you got to buy it from ABC. Alright. So, good to have you online, Frank. But that's it. I talked for an hour and 20 minutes almost. So we're just watching, waiting to see. 31 miles an hour is hauling ass, and it's not going to become anything more right now when it's going that fast. In fact, why am I on my Twitter page? We got to go to Twitter real quick. I do have an app. My Twitter page app. So if people ask me all the time, it's pretty cool. Check it out. You can watch your Daily Brew videos on there. Daily Brew. You can get all your simple, important buttons. Simplicity. People like it. It's very easy to find all little spaghetti models and satellites and messages and stuff like that. But I do get that ask all the time, so there you go. Let's go to Twitter real quick. So they're talking. So everybody's talking about this thing hauling ass, and someone says it's slowing down. Well, somebody just said it's slowing down to 26, 31 to 26. It's bound to slow down sooner or later. So slowing down system means it's going to have time to organize. So yeah, all right. So we'll do another video tonight for sure, and you know, let me put one more model up here. We did the H-Wharf. Not going to really show individual models right now because we already know we got a system out there. There's no point. This is the worst case scenario. This is the H-Wharf. This is for early Tuesday morning, 993, and then it strengthens it a little bit down to 982 before it turned up into the Big Bend, Upper Panhandle. The latest H-Wharf shows the opposite effect of a system that crosses land, and we get a lot sloppier system that doesn't have time to intensify much as it crosses Florida. So, you know, more time over Cuba, less chances of anything too strong as it comes through Florida. But you know, effects are still going to be the same. Lots of rain. This is the latest 6Z. This is the most minimal effect of our storm so far. A more track north over Cuba, more of a South Florida landfall, less time over the Caribbean, and less time over the Gulf. But look, squall line's the same. Still moisture. Still threats for flooding, tornadoes off of the Gulf Stream. This would be Tuesday morning, and then, you know, again through Tuesday night. So I talked a lot. So anyway, that's about it. I wish there was easier, but I think we got a good handle on things. What's my prediction? Everybody wants to hear it, so here's my prediction. Alright, so what is my prediction? My prediction is, let's see. Alright, let's just click on this one. So I think that we definitely, if I was to call it, I would say that this stays, it's going to stay a tick. I think we're going to get more of a track a little bit like that, maybe. No. I don't know. I think if the NHC was to do anything at 11 o'clock, I don't think there's going to be much change, honestly. I think this is pretty spot on. Yesterday I said Fort Myers. I had to stick to that, I guess. But I'm not seeing the East Coast side like the CMC. I can tell you that. The CMC is completely wrong. You know, I think this is pretty spot on. I think the big question mark is going to be this, you know, and you can kind of see it. Look at this. If I zoom in here, you can see what we're talking about earlier. We're going to get that initial turn to the north, and then we're going to get an initial bump back to the west because the high pressure starts building back in. You can see it. I didn't even notice this, but here's the track. So you can kind of see it a little bit on their thinking. You know, a turn, and then a little bit more west. So, but it's pretty spot on. More time in the Gulf here, you know, it's going to be able to re-strengthen. It's just a matter of what it is here. What it is here determines what it's going to be here, you know. Anyway, all right. Cool beans. All right, we'll go back and watch it. I went over a lot of data, so I'll be posting the 11 o'clock advisory here in a minute. We'll digest what the NHC says. the good news is overnight modeling is keeping it weaker, upper tropical storm. H-Wharf's still thinking that if it stays over the Gulf longer, and we could have a little more chance of a stronger tropical storm, lower end hurricane. So I still think that's not out of question at all. So sticking to that. The only thing that's got me, so the reason I'm stuck here is this. And I'll be honest, before Ensembles came along, we lived and died by the spaghetti models. This is tropical tidbits. So we got a little shift to the east here, right? And that was, a little shift to the east on some of the models. But we go back to the Ensembles on the latest GFS and the latest Euro Ensembles. The latest GFS Ensembles have a lot more out here than east, and the latest Euro Ensembles have, you could argue, more in the west side. So that's why I'm, everybody in the Panhandle, every time I type something, I make sure to mention Panhandle, because that to me is the trend as far as the Ensembles are going. And that would also mean this is expected to stay farther south, which would mean more water down here. So, stronger system if it goes more west, weaker system if it goes more east towards South Florida. That would mean it's got more land over Cuba. So it's really critical, and especially if this thing realigns center here. It's somebody said, I read on Twitter, that it outraced. Let's check out the lower level circulation. This is on cyclonicweather.com. He's got some great links. Also, but we can take a look. You'll be able to see the lower level circulation a little bit out ahead of it. It's not terrible. As long as that convection stays close to the lower level circulation, it's going to be able to hang on. So it's still stacked decent enough. So as long as this thing maintains good structure here, mid-level, lower level, then it's not going to have a hard time to intensify. So it could be a temporary weakening, but I think that that's not terrible. So the lower level is ahead of it, the mid-level by a little bit, but when those upper level winds slow down, that mid-level will catch up to the lower level, and it'll have a window. It'll be interesting to watch today. Today's the day to watch. How far south does it go, the models? Another good site here too, check this out. So this is always a good tool. I mean, it takes me all season to get back into syncing things, but customs, I think this is the one. I hope so. Yeah, it doesn't have the current. Oh man, let's see. Is that the 8 o'clock? I had to think. I can't remember where it was. I have to find it. I had a site that we, when the 8 o'clock came out, it would update the track. Let me see. Maybe Zoom Earth does it. Let me look. Because what we want to do is compare the 8 o'clock track to the 11 o'clock advisory, or the 5 o'clock cone. So this is good. Maybe this is kind of good. This will work. All right. So this was your this was your 5 a.m. Oh, there's your 8 o'clock. Oh, see, there you go. Is that your 5? Nope, that was 2 a.m. This doesn't have 5 a.m. Well, this kind of shows you a little jog south. See these data points? There's your 8 o'clock advisory just came out. So what I was getting at is to see if it's trending north or south of the cone. And right now it took a little jog to the south. And we're going to track that through the day. 11 o'clock. We get a new track out at 11. We're going to see if it's following this line or if it's tracking a little bit to the south. Because the more it stays to the south, then less land, more hot water. And a couple degree change here means everything. Let's say this thing stays a little bit south. It misses. 1 or 2 degrees is not that much, and that's what the NHC is talking a lot about, is what how much land interaction here. So what we're going to do is 11 o'clock. We had a little bump shift from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. So we had a little tick to the south. You can see it. It was going along, a little bump south, a little bump north, and then we bump south again. So we'll see where the fix is at 11 o'clock. If it's below the expected point. And then we'll see. Small changes mean a lot. So. All right, anyway. All right. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, supporters. Thank you, Joey. I got a lot of good information out there. I can't repeat everything. It's been an hour and a half. So we're burning up sunshine. My brain's got to rest. So, all right. We'll do this again later. I'll be posting all day. I promise you that. We'll be live again tomorrow morning on July 4th. I'll be wearing look at that, in honor of tomorrow is Red, White, and Blue Day. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and time to cook bacon.